firmware's already been flashed on these, right?
Yep. You don't have to do anything. So we're checking the speed on this, and perhaps our color could go down just a bit. I mean, that's really, really, you know, a heavy layer of resolution on it. Slows it down. Hurry up. So at maxed out resolution, you know, that is a deep color, rich color. And just trying to work out the color settings here with Tony on Acarip in such a weird variable. Whereas Tony's used other ink before, and the ink is not as complicated as this DTG Pro ink, the white ink anyways, so. Going to try this setting out right here, because the interesting thing about this is that it is a very soft feel. I'm quite amazed at, we're going to go to this resolution. I'm quite amazed at how soft these are, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that one's super soft.
And that's the setting that, this is the setting that you found last night.
No, that's the one we did today.
Okay.
That should be this one. Should be the one you just did.
And then the colors, you know, are pretty nice and vibrant. And then that's with no profile. That's loaded with profile. But it's so soft, dude. I can't believe it. Just feels like a real thin layer of plastisol, you know, that.
It's very soft compared to these.
Here, grab the feet. Hold the feet. Dude, that's amazing feel. I'm quite stunned. I don't have my DTF shirt here, do I? I don't know, dude. There's no way it's that soft even after being washed. That setting is a pretty dynamic setting I haven't seen. With this formulation of ink and everybody else's, you know. Now, obviously, if you change the resolution, your speed would just be amazing. When you're printing T-shirts, you don't need to be printing at, you know, maxed out resolutions, you know, because they're shirts, they're words, they're letters in most cases, you know, cartoon pictures like this.
We was having trouble with the lines.
Right. Hold this. So when you change the resolutions or a setting, the white can start showing lines in between the print. This is kind of why we tell you guys, you know, that when you start working with software that nobody has a setting or the ink levels to or the ink limits, different film combinations, and you're buying from here or there, man, it makes a very problematic issue because there's so many variables to test. If Tony can turn around and show you how much of this film, ink and powder we've wasted, your mind would be blown. How many sheets do you think we've wasted?
I mean, we filled up that garbage can twice.
Right, because we just took all variables on some new film that does peel really quick, but the ink we got comes from DTG Pro, their very highest line of ink, and the white ink, and so I just let other people import that stuff. I have no time for that. Well, that white ink is a weird consistency that I've never seen, but it's engineered for Epson printers, especially ones with the 7890 print head. And so, man, Tony and I have been screwing around with this thing for, I don't know, 14, 15 hours nonstop. And he knows. Okay, so we just changed the resolution, and I'll show you what happened. Give me a second. Okay, so you see when we change the resolution and settings, we're going to have to fix the white layer here, and that's a single, that might have been a smaller dot or a single dot. Let me check the red. So the dot size stayed the same. I think we're at small medium, but earlier we were at medium plus large, and then medium on the dot size, I think. Is that what we were at, Tony? Let's try this again.
That color looks like the color that was on the best one on the front.
This is just where the nightmare begins, because it's all about, locking these settings down. If you start, man, that looks really, that's going to be a really soft print. Everybody's number one complaint in DTF that I hear is that it feels like vinyl. And so, we're beyond that. It doesn't feel like vinyl, right? That feels...
It feels soft.
Yeah, dude, I'm truly stunned. In the past, I've not printed...
It feels softer than plastisol.
Precisely. I've not printed that soft yet, and so I'm a little bit confused as to what the hell is going on. We have so many variables here. And the sad part is we may never have this combination again. That's what sucks. Because when you order white ink from somebody, usually they're ordering from China, Belgium, or the Netherlands, right? One of the three. Or now Italy's starting to get involved in it. Now you'll be able to get American white ink. And so the problem goes like this. You never know if they're buying or they're manufacturing. If they're manufacturing, they may never have the the pattern the same, or hopefully they do. That's the benefit to hiring one of these people when you buy their ink. That's soft. I don't know if I can ever produce that again. So it is what it is, Got a business logo here? That's really soft. Once we find a solid layer, that's really soft. When this stuff cures correctly, man, it doesn't really affirm to the heat press. Holy crap. Look at the color of that. It's a rich color, too. And let's see where we're at over here with this one. Man, I think that's where we were at, just on the print that was, the best quality print we've had so far.
This one that you just cured, what's that?
It's gonna be in that white shirt, man. The variable of the rip, right? And so on this computer over here, I was going to do some prints with CAD-Link and compare 3 different prints. And so we had just, begun to throw this thing in there and then compare the two. So the mixture, the print speed, you could reduce the print size or print speed down and figure this out. But for now, the DTG Pro ink is really become troublesome in finding out a good setting. So their ink is engineered for Epson print heads. It has a very low viscosity. It can be like water, but it's supposed to be something to where you're set on to being able to use less ink, and being able to use less ink going through the print head means less of a clog. You done? Yeah, I think so. It'd be pretty funny to play that the cocoa melon song. JoJo runners there. Alright, last thing I want to think about. Let's try this one again. And we truly don't need this resolution, dude. I mean, it is fun though. And in my opinion, I would buy the settings we used on this over. This is just really heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like easy subly.
Right. I forgot about that product.
It's on the shirt. Feel that?
That easy subly? Yeah, dude, it does. You're right.
It feels just like it.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to share those numbers in because you have a unique formation of accurate. Yeah, it really does. Now, being that you know where that print came from, what's more true to the color, the dark one or the light one?
I think the lighter one looks closer to the...
To your monitor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to catch a flight. We're here with T, right down there. Derby City Press. If you got to get transfers, he'll be ready in a week because he's got to go out of town. Man, if that stays, that's a super nice way.
This one?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you see that?
Oh, Lord. Oh, it's running already, bro.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
So hit stop. Just hit pause. Now you can go ahead and pause cancel the job. All right, and then give me a cut here in a moment. So, hold on a second, I'm gonna put you all down. We're gonna change the dot size. So the white dot went to a mix. We need to keep that at a small. I was thinking we could push some white ink. It's that DTG Pro's white ink is very thin. And usually white ink has a heavy viscosity to it. But this doesn't. This is like even worse than pouring water, but it's engineered to use less white ink. And so
Should be easier on the print heads if it's thinner.
yeah, that's what their whole theory is. But of course, what they'll say is, we don't have your paper settings, we don't have your CMYK settings and all that. All right, so go ahead and hit the arrow or the delete job. Cut. Sorry, hit cut. I'm just trying to catch it. So. Damn it. Hey, look, we painted instead of painting the ceilings, we painted the All this is not from DTF, years of use, but check it out. So let's go ahead and 320, 420, holy shit. Now we could take that white down a bit too. And, you know, we could bring that to like 45 and see what happens here. So there's 3 levels of adjustments that we have to figure out when you change your dot size. And let's give that a shot. I got it on video for what it was at. So the 3 variables here, you know, that are involved are the paper, the ink, and the film, the ink, and the powder. And yeah, that's a nice layer. I mean, you certainly don't want that much white, right? You're not supposed to be using that's. So I bought white ink from everywhere, right? I bought ink from DTF Superstore. You know, I've imported it in, had it held up in customs, and everywhere that I bought ink from, it's always a heavy layer of white ink. You see it when you watch videos. This ink here is very thin. It just, you know, doesn't create a heavy layer of white ink, but when you press it, it's very freaking vibrant. And of course, as you dial in your Acro Rip settings or whatever rip you're using, right, the print begins to get finer and finer. But this is an amazing fill. I'm really excited about these settings. Not that I'll be using them all the time or anything, so. It's gonna be all in finding that rip. I gotta catch a plane, everybody. So long, I'll be back here in a week.